imagine if you're 14 or 15 now, like, and they're like actually still saying, like, or 17 or 18, they're like, yeah, go to uni, get a job, and save for a home. If you saw that 17-year-old doing that, you'd be, or your son was doing it, or whatever, you've got a kid, you'd be like, mate, do you think that's adding a bit too much risk? Taking out $200,000 worth of debt for an arts degree or whatever it is. I don't know. In Australia, it's actually quite affordable to go to uni relative to other places. But, people call Bitcoin high risk. What if Bitcoin's high risk as an
How
investment?
versus
What
what you
what
just
is
described?
what is the uni degree for $200,000 in debt?
Hmm.
What is that? You tell me. Imagine if you could choose that when you're 18. Do you want to apply for university, or would you like to start building wealth immediately? I'd like to start immediately. Imagine you could take a $200,000 loan from the government to buy Bitcoin when you finish school, or you get the loan for student education. Dude, everyone would pick Bitcoin. And not because it's Bitcoin, but because they're like, that uni degree is not worth much anymore. They're priced the same as they were. The syllabuses are the same pre and post internet. Like, it's not really that value adding. Now, if you're trying to become a surgeon, a civil engineer and stuff, sure. But you're doing an arts degree. I don't know one person in history that's going to pay off a $250,000, whatever, economics degree. It's very expensive today. So be very confident about, if you know what you want in kind of an education, then that's a big investment. And you may find that investment was worth a lot in an era when the internet didn't exist. Knowledge was very, very valuable, and so being employed for knowledge or education is a really big thing. Oh, you've got a uni degree, you've done this, you've done that. Now the information is so quickly transferred. Knowledge isn't really the biggest value adder for people now because it's so widely distributed. And like, I think if you think about, knowledge was once a currency. Not everyone knew everything. We know everything now. Not everyone knew everything. So my parents, when they were growing up, they didn't know what a French accent sound like because they can't just chuck on a movie, or they don't have it. Oh, pull up YouTube. Let's listen to someone with a French accent. They'd have a poster that they bought for $15 or something as inspiration. They didn't look at 1,000 pictures of France every day on a phone. They just got one photo, or this one beautiful image of my grandma in these lush mountains somewhere. That's my dream. And we hold on to that because there was no noise flooding your dreams. Oh, hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? The internet is full of shiny objects. So they're all there to distract us, basically. But before that, people could kind of know what they wanted probably a lot quicker because it wasn't as much choice. But you look at all the residual effects of choice, and there's anxiety, depression, Alzheimer's, like all these kind of things that are being produced from the excess consumption of choice, which is our phones, basically. Like, these problems are new. And like, it's mind blowing to think that they're unrelated or uncorrelated. Like, no, if you stare at a screen for 12 hours a day, evolution wanted you to look. The evolution didn't want you to download the entire Earth's knowledge every 2 seconds. Evolution wanted you to really try and find that berry in the bushes in the middle of the forest once every 3 days. That's what our brains were designed for or evolved for. But over the past 40, 50 years, they've been put on steroids. But evolution hasn't caught up. So when you have this disconnect, in there between the disconnect is all the problems, sickness, all that kind of stuff, because we haven't caught up. We're trying to do too much. It's like putting a jet engine on a Cessna plane or whatever, like a propeller plane. Is like,
Just put the
it'll
pieces.
probably
Yeah,
vaporize it. The
yeah.
plane can't handle it. And it's like, it's like that saying, give $1 million to someone who's earned it and they'll spend it right, but someone who hasn't, because they don't know what to do with it. The same way a light plane doesn't know how to handle the air pressure of a jet engine or something. And so I think, like, I don't even know, to be honest, but it's a pretty wild environment we're in. I feel
It
for a
is.
lot
It
of
is.
younger people.